Alright guys, check this out. Black Lives Matter co-founder addresses allegations of lavishly spending donation money. Apparently this woman went out and bought a multi-million-dollar house in California with the donations that were meant to be for the BLM organization. She responds to the criticism in this article, and that's what we're going to be reading right now. Kohlers explained that the purchase of the California house, which she described as a multi-purpose property. Is it like an office? Right, that would be like a multi-purpose property is an office. Usually you buy an office space, usually on a main road. You don't buy a residential house. And I'm pretty sure that's what she bought. A multi-purpose property. Occurred in October 2021 when she was still executive director of BLM Global Network Foundation. She said that it is common for organizations to own real estate for business purposes and characterized the purchase of the California property, which she refers to as a campus, as a huge accomplishment for BLM. It's a campus. That's where they all come and hang out and have parties. What? It would make more sense if they bought an office or something like that, but it seems to me that this was a personal purchase and that she's going to now justify it as some sort of business purchase. Securing a black space is neither a crime nor a hustle, Kohlers said in defense of the purchase, characterizing it as part of a long legacy of black people wanting to secure land and property. Everybody wants to secure land and property. I would sure like some land and some property that would go up in value over the next decade. That would be awesome. But usually if you're going to get donations for an organization, you would use that money for the organization. You wouldn't use it to go buy a multi-million-dollar house. It's just usually how that works. And just because black people want property and land doesn't change the ethics of how that should work. The goal of the purchase, she explained, was to use the facility as a content production center and use the campus as a haven, as a safe space for BLM activists. The later purpose was necessary due to multiple credible threats being made against various BLM leaders, including herself, Abdullah, and their families. Again, it makes more sense to have an office building, hire security then. That would make sense. If you're getting threats, you hire security. You have an office building where you hire security. You don't buy a residential multi-million-dollar house. Kohlers clarified that she stayed at the California home for 4 days following a warning by the FBI of a threat to her life, but neither she nor anyone else had lived on the premise beyond that, to the best of her knowledge, citing her resignation from BLM Global Network Foundation in 2021. Kohlers suggested that any questions about the current use of the property be directed at the current leaders of that organization, who declined to participate in the conference call. Kohlers admitted that the BLM organizers could legitimately be criticized for moves they've made along the way. This is not an easy thing that we're doing, she explained. We're trying to literally create a movement for black people to undo white supremacy and undo patriarchy and undo all the things that have impacted us. And we're going to make mistakes along the way. And in those mistakes, we're going to learn from them. Yeah, whatever. You bought a very expensive house and no one seems to know the reason why. But people have ideas as to why. Personal gain, maybe. But no comment, apparently, from the current leaders and really no explanation from the actual person who purchased the house in the first place, other than it was a community center, whatever the hell that means. And yeah, it really doesn't explain why they wouldn't actually purchase something more like a community center, like an office space where it's easily accessible from the road, and treat it more like a nonprofit business. And that's what BLM is supposed to be. But no, you buy a residential property worth millions of dollars. And if you would have spent that millions of dollars on office space, you probably could have got a really sweet place to do all your business out of. But instead, you buy a dumb residential property in the hopes that, I'm guessing, that you're going to be able to live in it one day. But that didn't pan out, did it? Anyways, that's the article. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you are listening to this now, thank you so much for staying to the end. You are the real one. And like the video and subscribe if you haven't already. All right, peace out.